Will I play better golf if I ignore the pin and just play for the middle of the green yardage? Today I'm at Pooler Golf to find out. A common piece of golf advice is people telling you to play for the middle of the green, as that's the safest spot and it's most likely to give you a good outcome on the hole. But is that actually true, and would hitting all your shots to the middle of the green actually help your scoring? Today I'm at Pooler Golf in Mallorca and I'm going to test out this theory. I've got my ShotScope V5 watch on, and all I'm going to use for my into the green yardages is the middle of the pin number. I'm going to try and hit my ball as close to the middle of the green as possible with my approach shots and see if that does in fact help my overall scoring. So let's go test out this theory and my accuracy. First up, we need to avoid that bunker down the right side of the fairway. Not quite the shot I envisaged, but safely navigated. We'll have a chance to go to the middle of the green. Okay, so the group in front of me have actually agreed to take the flags out, so I actually will not know where the pin is, apart from on this hole, because I could see it from the tee. So I am literally going to have to play for the middle of the green. So here we've got 125 yards to the middle. It's slightly uphill and a little bit into the breeze, if anything. There's not really much. So I'm going to hit just a stock 9-iron. So I think the middle of the green's about 5 yards right of that little sign in the fairway down there, which in my head I'm like, don't aim at that, it's a bit near the bunker. There's so much green to the right of it, but the rules are today, gotta play for the middle of the green. Pushed it a little bit, but it's made it up onto the green. I think it might be nearer the front edge, to be honest, than the middle. That's actually played a lot longer than it looked like it would. We are 1 for 1 in greens hit in regulation, but we're definitely not 1 for 1 on actually getting it near the middle of the green, because this is front right of the green, although we are pretty near the pin. I guess it does kind of show you that if I'd lasered the pin and then played for this front pin, I probably would have ended up down there. So maybe that's backing up that it is a good strategy to go for the middle of the green. Didn't just break quite how I thought it would. Level through 1. Nothing lost yet. Okay, 151 to the middle. Wind feels very strong and there's a bunker short, so I've gone up 2 clubs. I'm going to hit my 5-iron. I think that should be about the right yardage. Middle of the green is literally just straight up the middle of that bunker, so that's quite nice and simple. Pulled it a tad, but I think we are safely on the green. Tell you what, my proximity to the pin has been pretty good so far in this game. Maybe there's something in this idea after all. Probably got about 20 foot left for birdie, which I'd definitely take with a 5-iron in my hand. Go. Oh. How did that miss? I really thought I'd made that. Another very easy par. It's going quite well, this. The subscribe button's right there, you know. Just giving you a couple seconds to hit it. Okay, back to the video. Okay, par 4 third. I think we need to take this over the trees on the right so we don't run out of fairway. Or just fade it round it. Either works. Okay, it's 75 yards to the middle of the green. I've brought my 105 yard club because it's cart path only on this hole and I just thought we were way further away than we were, so let's see what we can make out of this. 75, bit uphill, probably playing 80 to the middle. Green looks tiny. Need to be precise with this one. I think we're just on the back fringe. That was a club selection error. It's actually nearly pitched on the flag at the side of the green. And to be honest, it's pretty near the pin. 21 feet, I didn't even have the right club in my hand. Average proximity is going to be good today. Break. Bit too firm. First par putt I've actually had to line up. It's not that far though. 3 feet. Another par. Could we make 9 pars in a row? Okay, hole 4, 360 yard par 4. Quite long because it's uphill and into the wind. There's bunkers all up the right that are in driving distance, but you just can't really lay up short of them because you're just going to leave yourself a really long shot in. So I'm just going to bullet a straight one in the middle. I think that's just carried over the water hazard. It was a bit tight. Kind of forgot that was up the left. Oops. That was uncomfortably close to the water. You can't see here because it like curves around, but I've literally just carried this bit. Right, we've got 135 to the middle. I think it's at least 1 club uphill. It's also straight into the wind and it feels a bit more than 1 club for me. So I've gone up 3 clubs to my 6 iron, but I'm not going to hit this like full out. I'm just going to hit like a smooth, soft tempo. I like hitting 3/4 shots when it's windy because it just doesn't spin as much and it goes a bit lower and it doesn't get blown off course as badly. Also, the group in front who were taking the flags out for me got let through by the group in front of them, so now the flag's back, in case you were wondering. So, middle of the green is like the right side of that bush, which is just right of the pin. Slightly right of it, but pretty good. Looks like we're actually fairly near the middle of the green there. Probably for the first time. This is definitely the nearest to the middle of the green we've been so far, and ironically, it's my longest putt. Now, to be honest, I'm not mad about that because if I'd ended up short to that front pin, it's a really steep slope and it'd have been a really tricky chip, so this definitely was the right place to miss it. This could be a slick putt though, all downhill and downwind. I do not think I could leave that short. Another par. Par machine today. Definitely not hitting a drive down here because it looks very tight. We're going for a little 7-wood. That's so safe. I was so not going in the water. 137 to the middle of the green. You probably can't see the green, but the middle of the green is basically in line with the right edge of these trees, so I just need to make sure I get enough height on it to get over them. I did, but I also caught it a bit heavy. But we have just snuck on the front edge, so that's good. See, playing up the distance, it helps. Although I feel like that pin's quite far back, so maybe I would have played even more distance if I was going for the pin, not the middle of the green. Okay, this is quite a long putt. First green I've missed short, although literally by a foot. So I want to end my par streak. Go in. Oh! It looks so good, but I've actually hit that quite a concerningly long way past. It seemed to move fairly straight on the way up the green, so hopefully it's the same on the way back down. Oh, no. That's so annoying. The par run ends. Now, obviously, it's difficult to account for a misstrike like that, and you're going to hit shots that just don't get to the green because you don't strike them properly. And you can't, like, design your whole course management strategy around that. But it is interesting, it does go to show you that if you are consistently, like, finishing your shots at the front or just short of the green, it does end up leaving you some quite long putts sometimes. And we must have had, like, 65 feet there. And scratch golfers, tall level golfers, they're going to make 3 putts from that distance because it's just so far away, it's hard to be perfectly consistent every time. So I guess the moral is, like, the nearer you can get to pin high and having a shorter putt, is really going to help you out. I just got really excited because I saw it was a par 5 and I thought this was a great opportunity to get a shot back. And then I realised, 1, it's 480 yards straight up the hill, and 2, there's a water hazard that cuts across the fairway, so I'm going to have to hit 7-wood off the tee. which is going to leave me like basically a playing yardage of 300 yards for my second shot, which isn't screaming reachable in 2. Safely in play. Maybe we can pitch it up and knock a putt in. 283 to the middle of the green. We can't reach, so I'm just going to hit a 7-wood because it feels like my most forgiving option. Perfect. We have exactly 100 yards to the middle of the green. Now you can see here my ball is on a bit of an upslope. That's going to add loft to my club and make it play shorter than it does. So I've gone up from like my gap wedge to my pitching wedge to allow for that. That pin is tucked left, so I'm going to go slightly right of it. And that's pretty good. We're pretty in the middle of the green again. Back to normal order after that last approach shot. I thought I clubbed up quite a lot then, and I'm still on the front half of the green. It's not letting me too bad of a putt, probably about 35 feet, although that slope definitely makes it a little bit trickier. No more 3 putts. Go, go, go. Oh, it was dead on line as well. I was enjoying those tap-in par putts at the start of the round. A bit better than these longer ones that I've been leaving myself lately. Safely in. Back on the par run. Right, 380 par 4, straight into the wind. So we're not going to reach any of those bunkers down there because they are a long way away. I think that's pretty good. Okay, we have exactly 150 yards left to the middle of the green. It's probably playing a club downhill, but also 2 clubs into the wind. So I've gone up 1 club to 6 iron. So let's see how we get on with that. I think the pin is pretty much in the middle of the green for the width. That's actually really near, and that's within 10 foot of the pin. Maybe we can finally make a birdie. 9 foot left for birdie. Looks like it could have a bit of curl in it, this. Yes! We love it. Pretty pleased with that. I do feel like overall playing to the middle of the green and like trying to constantly get my ball like past any front pins is helping me out in terms of scoring and strategy. Okay, we have 188 yards to the pin. Slightly downwind. I don't really feel like I have a club for this because my 5 iron's like 172. I don't think it's going to add an extra 16 yards. But my 7-wood could definitely go like 190 plus, so I'm just going to have to hit this soft. See how we get on. Please don't ride the wind too much. That's actually really good. I'm not sure I've ever tried to hit a 3/4 7-wood before, but it's worked out very well. It's worked out like I practice that shot all the time. I would have categorically tried to hit a 5 iron if this was tournament condition, and it would not have ended up well. So actually going up the club has really done me a solid there. This has not even got all the way back to the pin. I am like shocked. It looked quite a lot closer from the tee as well. I was thinking back-to-back birdies. Now I'm like, just roll it up, tap it in for a par, move on. Next is a par 5. Go, 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 go. Okay, 419 yard par 5. This is reachable. We just need to navigate the bunker and the water off the tee. I think that's perfectly in the middle of the fairway. We love to see that. Okay, 181 to the middle of the green, slightly uphill. I think it's just another 7-wood. The middle of the green is pretty much middle or just right side of the bunker. Slightly up the left side of the green, but I think it's bang on for distance. We've got an eagle putt. this has worked out very well. We've got about 35 feet left for eagle. Better do some serious green reading on this one. I think it's gonna have a decent bit of swing on it, especially off this slope. Oh, that was so timid. One under par in the middle of the green challenge. I would be really pleased with that in tournament golf. Honestly, when I set off and started this challenge, I kind of thought I was going to come out at the end and say it wasn't the right thing to play for the middle of the green, and actually you should be moving your distance around much more based on the hazards around the green and where the pin position is and what's long and what's short. But actually, just playing to that middle distance has made me really consistent, and I think it's made me focus a lot more on my club selection and making sure I have enough club to get further back to that mark, which is probably actually the thing that's made me deliver better results and better scoring. Overall, I only missed one green shot, and that was from a really bad misstrike. But if we look into the shot scope stats, typically a scratch golfer would miss 24% of green short, so missing 1 out of 9 short for me is definitely an improvement and better than that 24% mark. Definitely made me think differently for my next round and how I'm going to work on my strategy. And overall, I just think clubbing up and playing further up the green is something we all need to work on, because we know the vast majority of golfers leave most of their shots short. Having a GPS that shows you the front, back and middle of the green is really helpful for this. I love my ShotScope V5 watch. It's definitely shown today that actually you don't have to have a laser to play good golf. You can just rely on these distances. Also, really enjoyed pool golf today, so if you're at Mallorca, definitely worth giving this course a try.